Hello, my amazing students, and welcome back to Daily English. I'm Alex, and today we're going to have a really honest conversation about something that might surprise you. We're going to talk about why simply watching English shows or scrolling through language apps won't magically make you fluent. I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me because I'm going to share the truth about what actually works when learning English as an adult. Let me start by asking you something. How many hours have you spent watching English shows with subtitles? How many language apps have you downloaded? And after all that time, can you confidently have a real conversation in English? If you're feeling a bit uncomfortable right now, don't worry. You're not alone. Millions of adult learners are stuck in the same trap, believing that passive exposure is enough to master a language. Here's the reality. You're not a child anymore. Children can spend 10, 15, even 20,000 hours slowly absorbing a language while playing, eating, and watching cartoons. They have all the time in the world. But you're an adult with responsibilities, goals, and dreams. You don't have decades to waste on methods that feel comfortable but don't deliver results. Think about it this way. When people say children are amazing at learning languages, they're only telling you half the story. Yes, children eventually learn to speak, but let's look at how long it actually takes. A typical child needs thousands upon thousands of hours of constant exposure before they can speak properly. Even after all that time, they make countless mistakes. They forget words, mispronounce things, and need years of correction from parents and teachers. The only reason this slow process works for children is because they have unlimited time and no deadline. But you're an adult with responsibilities, goals, and dreams. You don't have decades to waste on methods that feel comfortable but don't deliver results. Now, let's talk about what actually works for adults. Now, before you mention stories about immigrant children who seem to learn English quickly, let me share something important with you. Those children aren't just watching TV shows in English. They're going to school, where they must read in English, write in English, answer questions in English, and complete homework in English. Every single day, they're actively using the language with constant feedback and correction. That's completely different from sitting on your couch watching Netflix with subtitles. I want you to understand something crucial. Passive exposure alone doesn't create fluency. You can watch 1,000 hours of English content, but if you're not actively engaging with the language, you're just entertaining yourself. There's nothing wrong with entertainment, but let's be honest about what it is. Watching shows is fun. Playing with apps is easy. But are these activities actually moving you closer to fluency? In most cases, the answer is no. Here's the hard truth that nobody wants to hear. If all you're willing to do is consume content passively, you're not going to reach your goals. This mindset of learning must always be fun and easy is exactly why so many adults spend 5 or 10 years studying English and still can't hold a basic conversation.
real progress requires real effort. It's not always fun. It's not always comfortable, but it absolutely works. The good news is that being an adult is actually an advantage. You're smarter than a child. You can think analytically. You can learn deliberately and strategically. You can focus your energy on what actually matters. So let's talk about what really works when you want to learn English fast and effectively.
First, you need to build a strong foundation of vocabulary and useful sentences. Notice I said sentences, not just individual words. Learning random vocabulary lists won't help you speak naturally. Instead, focus on complete sentences that you would actually use in real conversations. Write them down, study them, create audio recordings of them. These sentences should reflect your real life, your interests, your work, and your goals. For example, instead of just learning the word meeting, learn complete sentences like, I have a meeting at 3 o'clock, or can we reschedule the meeting for tomorrow? These are phrases you'll actually use. Make a collection of sentences that matter to you personally. This is your foundation. Second, you need intensive listening practice, but not the passive kind. Start with those sentences you collected. Listen to them repeatedly until you can recognize every word instantly. Use native speaker recordings. Listen while reading along, then listen without reading. Repeat this process over and over until the sentences feel completely natural to your ears. Once you've mastered your core sentences, then and only then should you move on to native speaker content like podcasts, YouTube videos, or shows. But even here, you need to listen actively, not passively. Take short clips, maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute. Listen multiple times. Try to catch every word. Pause and repeat. This is active training for your ears, not background noise while you check your phone. Third, and this is the part most people avoid because it's challenging, you must practice speaking. I know it feels uncomfortable at first, but speaking practice is absolutely essential. You cannot become fluent without opening your mouth and producing the language yourself.
Start by talking to yourself. Yes, really. Take those sentences you learned and say them out loud. Record yourself speaking. Then listen to your recording and compare it to native speakers. Notice the differences. Where do you need improvement? What sounds are difficult for you? Then practice again and again and again. Translate sentences from your native language into English and say them out loud. Do this daily. Work on your pronunciation, your rhythm, your intonation. Don't just think in English. Speak in English. Even if nobody is listening, the practice is valuable because you're training your mouth, your tongue, and your brain to produce English automatically. I know what some of you are thinking right now. Alex, this sounds like hard work. Can't learning be easier and more fun? Here's my honest answer. Real progress requires effort. Yes, it's work. No, it's not always entertaining. But here's what matters. It works. It delivers results. When you commit to deliberate practice every single day, you will see improvement. Fast improvement. Think about anything else you've mastered in life. Maybe you learned to drive a car, play a musical instrument, or develop a professional skill? Did any of those things come easily? Did you master them by just watching others do them? Of course not. You had to practice. You had to make mistakes. You had to push through the uncomfortable stages. Learning English is exactly the same. So here's what I want you to do. Starting today, commit to 3 daily habits. Every single day, do these 3 things. First, learn and review useful sentences. Second, practice active listening with those sentences and native content. Third, speak out loud. Practice your pronunciation and fluency by actually using your voice.
If you do these 3 things consistently, every single day, without exception, you will improve faster than you ever thought possible. You'll move from struggling to understand basic conversations to confidently expressing yourself in English. But you have to show up. You have to do the work. Nobody can do it for you. Stop wasting time pretending that passive exposure is enough. Stop telling yourself that learning must always feel easy and fun. Those beliefs are holding you back. Instead, embrace the challenge. Be proud of the work you're putting in. Every difficult practice session is bringing you closer to fluency. Remember, you're not a child with unlimited time. You're an adult with goals and limited time. That means you need to work smart and work hard. Focus on what actually moves the needle. Build your vocabulary with real sentences. Train your ears with active listening. Practice speaking every single day. These are the activities that create real, measurable progress. Before we finish today's lesson, I want to encourage you. Yes, the path to fluency requires effort, but you absolutely can do this. Thousands of adults, just like you, have achieved fluency using these methods. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. The successful ones stop making excuses and start putting in consistent daily effort. So my challenge to you is this. For the next 30 days, commit to these 3 daily practices. Learn sentences, listen actively, speak out loud. Do this every day, and I promise you, you'll see real progress. Your English will improve dramatically when you stop avoiding the hard work and start embracing it. Thank you so much for being here today, my amazing students. I believe in you and your ability to master English. Now stop watching and start practicing. I'll see you in the next lesson where we'll dive deeper into practical techniques you can use right away. Until then, keep working hard, stay focused, and remember that every bit of effort brings you closer to your goals. See you soon.